You sound like you're still sleeping, man. So we say first we want to give praise and honor to the Most High Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Mashiach Yahushua. So myself, Kahan, L.O.Z, we're going to conduct the Sabbath service this morning. Kahan?
Kahan.
So we're going to go into some scriptures, the gospel, some in the Torah, and just meditate upon it in terms of, you have the white man celebrate his independence, Kahan? But let Esau be free, man. It's coming to a end. You understand me? Let He celebrate his freedom, and let us celebrate the Most High holy days, which is the Shabbat. Kahan? So as Yahushua said, let's render to Caesar what is due unto Caesar, and render unto Yahweh what is due unto Yahweh. Right? So right, so
feed off you.
So you want to read?
Yeah.
All right, so but let's get the book of Romans 15, verse 4.
Romans 15 verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
So much of us believe that. That whatever things was written from the Genesis, from before time, was written for our learning. So what they're telling you, whatever was written from the Genesis, we're supposed to do what? Go back to it. Kahan? Read that from the top again, please.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
So you see that? He said might have hope. You don't guarantee hope, because not everybody gonna go back to it. You understand me? Not everybody gonna go back to the days of old, man. You understand me? So the ones them that go back to it, that's how we have hope. How we have hope? How we keep hope alive? You understand me? Because if you're in the truth for certain years, like some of you young men just come in, but for brothers who in the truth, like you have Banyamin, you have Mike from the 80s, man. You understand me? If you don't go back to see in the Exodus where Moses delivered people, you will not have hope, man. You don't think this white man rulership will continue on this earth, man? You think whatever going on is just going to be phased out? We're going to just be slaves forever. You understand me? But when you go back now in the law and you see how the Most High deal with our foreparents, that's how we have hope. Because we know if we do what is right and acceptable, the Most High will deal with us in that manner likewise, man. Right? You have more to it? Alright, that's it.
Yeah.
Alright, get Deuteronomy 32 verse 7. And the last time me and Kahan teach was how much years ago? More than 10 years.
2007?
2007? That was the ongoing program then. Alright, read on.
Deuteronomy
32:7.
Deuteronomy 32 verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations.
So that's why I know we have to look past this lifestyle, man. And listen, this was in Deuteronomy. Moses was telling the children of Israel then to remember the days of old. Remember what days? Seth, Enoch, Abel, Noah. You understand me? Moses was telling them then this, to remember the days of old, man. He said, consider the years of many generations. Read.
Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee.
You understand me? So that's why most I say inquire of your elders, man. And they'll tell you what used to happen. You understand me? Like brothers here will tell you, oh, black man divided. No, we were never divided like that in the 60s, in the 70s. You understand me? When you do the history, you talk about Malcolm X, Luther King. They weren't in the knowledge, but they are always fighting for a cause, man. Who is fighting for a cause for the so-called black man in 2020? Who? A bunch of sodomites? Or some bunch of sodomites and lesbian? You understand me? Because the whole Black Lives Matter thing come where it's supposed to be better for us as a nation of people, but he actually going to lead you away far from the Most High as possible. Right. Because who is running the Black Lives Matter movement? And what the purpose? What the agenda? You understand me? What's the purpose of it? So now that's why the Most High now telling us, remember the days of old, man. Remember the days of our forefather, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You have something to say, priest?
No, I was saying also, they're probably getting grants. Because a lot of those not-for-profit organizations, you know, they're getting grants or whatever like that. And Esau knows that the people are in an uproar, so they say, okay, we'll just we'll control it. Okay, if they want to march, they got to apply for a permit. Okay, they got to pay for the permit. There's going to be a cutoff time. Okay, you can march from this time to this time. Anything after that, you're going to jail.
And march here.
You
direct where you march.
Right. Everything is controlled in a controlled environment. You understand? But like I was telling brothers, they're saying they refer to Israelite as a religion. They said it's one of the fastest growing religions during this time period, right? So there's a lot of brothers out there that's, you know, a teach overnight. They just learn the truth and next week they got a camp. But what they're lacking is mentorship. And a lot of the elder brothers should make themselves available that they can take these young brothers under their wing and show them the right way. Because, you know, I just went to, I took the brothers to Harlem yesterday and we went over to Mount Morris Park. They changed it to Marcus Garvey Park now. And I was telling them how when Masha, before he died, when he was hospitalized, he got that vision to put the trooper program in place. That we had that two-year period to go through learning Hebrew, learning Sabbath service, learn martial arts, learn discipline, learn military marching. But a lot of these men, they lack that. You understand? So we had that 2 year, that's equivalent to like an associate's degree. That we had, for 2 years straight, we had to be in class for 4 days a week. Okay? So they missed that. So, you know, we welcome these young men coming to us that we can show them the right direction, like we brought out earlier about seeking the old paths. You understand? Because we have a lot of experience that we can give to you that you don't have to make the same mistakes that we made.
Definitely.
You understand? Because a lot of stuff we learned through trial and error. Because coming up, a lot of brothers kind of show this thing from one side of view. But now we're able to, like, listen, been there, done that. Okay? We'll show you the negative and we'll show you the positive. But ultimately, if you follow the blueprint that's in this Bible, best instruction before leaving earth, you will overcome any obstacle that's in front of you. But we gotta stick to the word of the Most High. Okay?
And what Kahan says is very important, man. You understand me? Because social media and YouTube, they do a damage on our people too, man. Because many priests discussing, when we used to teach back then in the days, we used to do it for the passion and the love.
Right.
You understand me? But now you have a lot of brothers out there, they do this work to be seen. They do this work for likes, for views, for contention.
For money.
Yeah, for money. That's why the Bible call it what? Filthy lucre, man. You understand me? But back then when we used to do this truth, we were happy going out there, what, 3-4 days a week to do this truth, to teach this word, man. You understand me? Like the scripture tell you, it was a good tidings, so when you get it, you just want to go there and deliver it. You understand me? You have brothers have that passion, no, but as what Kahan said, it's very important they get wisdom where they don't make this, do the same thing that we do. Because look at it, One West. So much brother come out of One West. So much of those brothers still in the truth. How much of them talking? How much of them even saying shalom to each other? But everybody pushing the kingdom. Can? So you really think we're going to go to the kingdom, have a malice with each other? You think you're ready for the kingdom yet? You have a hands with that brother there, can you take up the phone and call him and talk to him? While the scriptures say if it's possible, live good with what? All men. So all these brothers come out One West, all them leaders too, have different camps, different schools, and not one of them talking. Like you going into the Most High kingdom with that strife. It ain't gonna happen, brothers. So that's why now we're going over the scripture where it says, remember the days of old. It's a better promise. Yahushua gave us a way better promise than that. And then you have young men come up in this under them now when have the same attitude. Right? So get Leviticus 26 now, Kahan.
I was even watching a video where a brother said he can't wait till the Most High gives spiritual power that he can kill other Israelites.
In the truth.
You understand? So you really think that the Most High is going to give spiritual power in America?
For you, and all what's happening, our people sick, our people need help.
But he want to kill people.
And you getting that spiritual power is to kill the next Israelite. Tahar used to say it back in the days. And brothers go at him and say that was the wrong attitude. You understand me? But now this brother, he condemned JMS. You understand me? But now he pick it up and he out there saying he can't wait to get spiritual power to kill some of you brothers. That's what he said, right? Yeah. You brothers. So you're going to be brothers and you want spiritual power to kill you, not to uplift you, not to correct you.
That's like Cain and Abel.
You understand me?
I'm your brother, but I still want to kill you. You know? What you call me?
Leviticus 26, verse 1.
Leviticus 26, verse 1. You shall make unto you no idols, nor graven image.
Read it from the top again.
You shall make you no idols, nor graven image.
So listen, brothers, the Most have a problem with idols and graven image. Your wife can be an idol. Your wife can be a graven image. Sister, your husband can be an idol. He can be a graven image. Your job can be an idol. Your job can be a graven image. You understand me? Hey, you know what some of us do? We show more priority going to the white man work 5 days a week or 6 days a week more than we take one day and give it to the Most High. That's graven image and idol. You understand me? Go to work, you're comfortable, you're happy. When Saturday come for camp, brother, I'm tired. You want to take time off on the Shabbat now?
But listen, what the Most High wasn't merciful. What if he said, give me 6 days
and work 1 day?
Right? What if he said, give me 6 days and work 1 day? How would that be? So we're complaining with it, and actually, we're not even given a full 24 hours. Why do I say that? Because out of the 24 hours, when you go to sleep, how many hours you sleep in a day? 8 hours, so subtract that from the 24, right? Then transportation time to and from the congregation. Take that out. So how much time you really devote to the Most High on that 1 day? And it's a burden to a lot of people.
And as you come, you start looking at your watch. He's teaching too long.
Right.
Barak up there again. You understand?
See? And we were actually, because we went to camp yesterday, we walked back to the base, right? So we walked from Utica Eastern Parkway to Notion Avenue. So we saw Amalek out there. There's a lot of brothers, I brought a couple of brothers from Florida, their first time in New York City. So they're experiencing, we walked through Amalek area, and we noticed that how they preparing, they walking diligently to go to their synagogue for the Shabbat. You understand? But our people, they take their time, you know, they're not serious about it. Okay? So we really got to understand. That's why Scripture tell you how these nations, they hate us, because now, think about it. the Most High loved and chose Israel, but we don't deserve it. You understand? These other nations, even though the Most High is not for them, they're doing this thing diligently. Okay, like clockwork. Like you might see a Jewish family. You might see that family every time this same Friday. Before sundown, walking to go to the synagogue. Right, diligently every week, like clockwork.
On time too.
On time. But our people can't get it together. So that's why they hate us. Okay? How can the Most High love these people? Stiff-necked, hard-headed, rebellious nation.
Remember in Revelation it says Satan go to the Most High about us every day, man.
Right.
Read it from the top again, Kahan.
Leviticus 26:1. You shall make you no idols, nor graven image.
And I have to say this too. Even I know we show the picture of a black man on it, because it's not Yahushua. You understand me? That's an idol too, brother. I know it become an idol is when you have man start draw themselves. When man start to draw different features of man, put on it and teach people, say this is Yahushua. That's an idol too. So Yahushua never want us to have no drawing of Yahushua up in the house and say this is the Son of Man. And I see one where you have the black woman, you have a picture they say is Yahushua, and you have a next picture they say is the Musai. You ever see that Trinity that they put up? That's idols too. We cannot have that neither, brothers. Because just like how with Caesar, you have the picture with Caesar there? You have Caesar? Oh. Just give me 1 second. Because I remember back in the days, when we go camp, if you see any children coming up, and you ask the children, who is this? Who they tell her this is? Who they tell her this is? Jesus. So if you have a picture now of a man on it, who people say Yahushua, and you teach people that. When you ask your child, who is on this picture, what your child gonna say? Yahushua. So you see, we cannot do that. We know the scripture tells us what color a man is, man. So what if the picture that you have when Yahushua come is darker than that? His afro is thicker than that. What are you going to do? So when the Moses said, remember the days of old. Moses wasn't running with no picture to show Israel, this is the Moses. Because Israel asks, why are you alone speaking to this man? Why are you alone speaking to the Creator? Remember, Israel did ask. The only thing Moses see was what? The burning bush, man. Can you read the scripture? It said no man was holy enough to look upon the man.
So it's backbone.
You understand? So and then no brothers drawing. It's so much drawing of a black Christ out there. It's remarkable, man. Right? Read on.
But you notice the caption that says the light of the world. Right? But a lot of people, the first thing they say, nobody knows what the Messiah looks like, right? But how come now this magazine, I have a whole collection, but this is the latest one, 2020, right? But quite ironic how nobody knows what it looks like, but they always paint him as a Caucasian. They never came out and said, well, and there was actually, I don't know if a lot of you may not be old enough to remember when Ebony magazine, Mike Olive, they probably remember that. When they put an image of a black Christ Messiah on the magazine, you had white people protesting to the point where they almost went out of business. They said, if you don't take down that magazine, we're going to shut you down. Right? And there was somebody, they were actually going to do a play in New Jersey. Right? And they was going to have a black man portray the Messiah. White people picking it. They protested to the point where they didn't even do the play. They had to refund everybody back their money. Right? But you're saying that nobody knows what it looks like. Color doesn't matter. Color doesn't matter until you say that he's a man of color. Then it's a big issue. So that's showing you how hypocritical these people are. Right? So they're a bunch of hypocrites.
And many Negroes on that issue, many Negroes wrote into Ebony. They almost made Ebony go out of business because they said that that's not Jesus.
Right.
So the Negroes did the same thing.
Right. So because a lot of our people, you know, have this passion, this love for the white man. Right. And one of the most prominent speeches that Malcolm X did in the past was what? Who taught you to hate yourself? Right. For someone to design, right, a way for a person to hate themselves, that's unique. That's high tech. When you hate yourself and you love your master, right? That's the highest level of stock. That's called Stockholm syndrome, right? That after all these things they did to you, you still love this man. It's like it's like a situation with a pimp and a prostitute, right? The pimp, he beat this woman up all the time, all right? But the prostitute, she still loves the pimp. Check this, right? No matter how much this pimp beats up this prostitute, she loves it. I think she probably loves him even more. Right? Actually, one time we did camp in Florida, and a young sister came up. She said she likes to get beat up. She likes to get beat. She likes it rough. You know what I'm saying? She was selling herself. Told her to repent and so forth like that. But you have a lot of people that have been abusive. A lot of women have been in abusive relationships, and that's what they want. Right?
And men abuse themselves with marijuana,
right,
alcohol,
right,
drugs, and all that too. You like that high.
Okay. Let's read on. Leviticus 26:1. Ye shall make you no idols or no graven image, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land, to bow down unto it, for I am Yahweh your power.
Read.
You shall keep my Sabbaths.
That what you shall do?
You shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am Yahweh.
So when you say reverence the sanctuary, what that mean? Let me see your hands. When they said reverence the Most High sanctuary, what that meant? Yes, Zachariah.
Respect.
Give me something more than that. You say reverence. Well, how do you reverence something? Nobody know you reverence the sanctuary? What was it? What was the Levite jobs?
For sacrifices and minister before the
What else?
Also to set the bread before the children
What
of Israel.
else?
Also to anoint the children of Israel.
To control the whole priesthood, man. It wasn't that. Because the Most High sanctuary have to be what? Upheld. You couldn't just turn your back on it. You have to clean the Most High. Listen, brother. It was what's in there. It was the finest gold. It was the finest stones. Because remember, what you're reading here, we didn't even go in the land to build the sanctuary yet. But what Moses is telling us in Leviticus 26, if you want to live long, these are the things you have to do. So the Sabbath must be kept, even we don't have a sanctuary. Whenever we get the sanctuary, we have to reverence it. When we turn to the east and pray, what we're praying to?
Most High's house.
Which is what? Which is what? The sanctuary. It's the same thing, the Most High house, which is what? The sanctuary. We're not praying to turn to the east to pray to Jerusalem, to a statue. There's not a statue of Yahweh in Israel, so we're turning there to pray for. Although there's no temple there, the Most High said whenever we pray, where we must turn. The Most High say, although the sanctuary is torn down today, He's still dwell there, brothers. So that's why I say, remember what? The days of old, because we have to give reverence to that holy land in Israel. The Muslim go to Mecca, right? The Muslim visit Mecca. The Christian will visit Rome.
Right, that's like, that is something that is, it's written that you have to do it. You know, it's mandatory. You have to do a pilgrimage to go to Mecca, right? I mean, when I came into the truth, I always had the vision of going to Israel. Okay, everybody that calls yourself a Hebrew Israelite, in your mind, you should want to visit the land. right? And going back to reverence, it's meaning like the upkeep. Like if you come to the sanctuary, you see something that's missing or see something out of whack, or come to the eldership and say like, you know what, can we do this or that, or do we need this, do that? That's what it's all about. Okay. Take care of this place like you would take care of your house. But I mean, some people don't do that. But I'm saying if you're a person that maintain your home on a high level, then do the same thing here in the sanctuary.
Kahan?
Okay. Because it's not only finances, it's, you know, because there are different. It's one thing that I learned coming through One West is that everybody has a different talent. And I always try to study a person that I can identify that gift, so I can place them in a position where they can automatically uplift the Most High and shine before the Most High. Example, I'm not going to take a mechanic and tell him to do what a doctor does, because he won't be successful. But if I see a sister, she's a good chef, a good cook. I'm like, sis, you know what, do you mind being over the new moon celebration, whatever like that? Or if a brother is a handyman, if something needs to be fixed, make sure he's in that loop. So you want to identify, and these are, you know, for you brothers that are coming to be leaders, you have to make sure you put brothers in their niche, because then they may be regretting what you tell them to do, or they may not do it to the best, you know, the best level that it should be done. So you want to put somebody in that level that, you know, this is something they're comfortable with, something that they can uplift the Most High, that they can shine, and the Most High will be elevated at all times. So these are things that we're giving you brothers jewels for leadership, because it's through trials and errors. We've seen brothers be put in places that didn't, that's like putting a square in a circle, it doesn't fit. Okay, so we're telling you things that's going to be successful for you, that you'll be a successful leader, that you won't have men that, I brought brothers with me, brothers that jumping in, like I tell brothers I'm going places, brothers be jumping at a chance to travel. Okay, because they see the way, you know, even when H.O.D.C, he didn't force brothers to follow him. They followed him because why? The aura, the wisdom, the love, the brotherhood, everything that he had. You had to want to be in his mix. Okay, you wanted to be in his mix because he was all in all. He was 360 degrees.
Because too, when the 70 left,
right,
Yahushua look in the 12 and say, are you leaving too?
Right.
The 12 said, where are we going? So sometimes you have to be on one mind and one thought, because what Kahan's saying is stuff that we witnessed before. Brothers in the wrong position and the whole thing collapsed. So we only can talk from what? Experience. You understand me? That's why Deuteronomy 32:7 say, go to your leaders, man. Go to your elders. They'll tell you. Right? Read on. Verse 3.
Verse 3. If you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due season.
So you see that? Rain is physical rain, spiritual blessing.
Right.
You ain't just gonna get God blessing like that, man. You understand me? Read verse 3 again.
If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due season.
It's something for something. You have to do something for the Most High to do something to you, man. But he said what? In due season. You might be keeping the laws. You're looking at a job, you don't get the job in a month, 2, 3. Because everything is what? Up to the Most High. You'll get that in due season. Right?
But some people put the cart before the horse, because you might hear somebody, you might see somebody missing, right? So you reach out to the person, yeah, you know, I'm trying to get this money, trying to get paid. Right? The Most High seek ye the kingdom of heaven first, then shall things be added unto you.
In due season.
In due season.
Not
but
right
you be trying to put a time period on the Most High. Okay, I'm doing this. You know, you expect instantaneous gratification. Okay, everything is about the Most High. The Most High is on a different time. So you might in your heart you might feel like, yeah, I mean, has the Most High, as he noticed that it's enough time in his time zone. See, we can't get. A lot of people have gotten impatient, right? A lot of people forced the whole 2000 thing. Maybe the Most High did want to do something 2000, but because everybody was pushing it, he said, you know what, I'm gonna make them wait a little longer.
Due season. That not to say not coming, but we don't know the time or the hour, bro.
Right.
So we cannot tell you it's December 25th, 2021. But the only thing we can tell you is we're in the season. Kahan? Read verse 4 again, Kahan.
Then I will give you rain in due season.
So we're going into the physical part of it now. Rain.
And the land shall yield her increase.
So most brothers, when they look at Israel now, and they see Israel as it is, like I hear brothers saying they're not going there while the enemy is still there. Listen, anybody make a statement like that lack knowledge. Because if the enemy is there, who going to get them out? If the enemy is there and you say you're not going to the land, who going to get them out?
Right.
How did Joshua get them out? Joshua even prayed for the sun to stop to kill the Hittites out the land, man. But you said no. I hear multiple brothers say, man, that was back in 1 West 2. They're not going there until the enemy come out the land.
Listen, you think if the white man said that, they went and conquered America? They came here, they stole, everything. They robbed, they did everything.
They learned first though, they learned first.
Right.
They learned from the Indians.
Right.
Because Esau is not stupid. You remember when the Assyrian took the 10 tribes out, the Assyrian put back people in the land, man? And animals started eating off the people, because they couldn't know to live in the land. Esau come here, he was friend with the Gadites, man. He friended them, he learned everything, then he just killed them off and take it. And that's why Marcus Garvey's speech that he made in Atlanta, 1918. Marcus Garvey said, if you cannot hot light your enemy, you're not worthy enough to rule this earth. How somebody going to steal something what the Most High gave to you, and you say you're not going back there because he's there? That's a coward, man. You understand me? So now the Most High said, he's not going to heal the land until we in the land, guess what? Doing what we're supposed to do, which is keeping the laws, statutes, commandments, and judgment. Could somebody give me one scripture when it was only Israel ever be in the land? Give me one scripture. When all nations get kicked out of the land and Israel was even there by themselves.
So low.
We're going to have to go start enslave some of you now because Israel is hot. I'm not doing all that work. Even when Nehemiah them building the temple, the nations were still there. So you tell me what country on this planet where only the native people of that country is in that country? But some of you watch these things and you're amazed because, damn, it's almost $1,000 to go to Israel. That could buy some Jordans, that could do something else.
Buy some new rims.
Yeah, my wife don't want me to go neither. You understand me? So some of you make excuse. Some of you make excuse, brothers. But the Most High, as I said, Labriam's favorite scripture, Romans 13, knowing the time, it is high time. It's high time for everything, brothers. It's high time for the land to welcome us back. And it's high time for we to do the laws of the Most High. Remember, in the wilderness, Joshua said we must rehearse the righteous act. How many years are we going to do that for? How many years are we going to refuse to go back to the land and rehearse the righteous act? And some of us in America, we only say rehearsing the righteous act. Because we all know we're playing games. Because the Most High said tabernacle coming up in October. How much are you going to do in 10 for the 8 nights? Because it's 8 nights, it's not 7. It's 8 nights. How much are you going to do that? Let me hear the excuses them now.
Well, now they got to really see the COVID-19.
Yeah. You understand? How much are you going to try to do that? The Passover, he said you should break bread 7 days. You think the most I care about if COVID-19 coming up, you don't do God Passover? Listen man, a lot of brothers were scared this year for the Passover, man. A lot of brothers want to put off God Passover. Or you want to put off something what the Most High gave to us. Do you know what happened in Egypt the night when Moses kept that Passover in Egypt, man? You're talking about this. Listen man, when I read the history in Joshua, man, he said you could stay in Ethiopia and hear the Egyptian crying out, man. But guess what? He said the Israelites, they were partying and singing and dancing in their houses, man. Keeping God Passover while people was outside dying. And you only hear about a flu. Because that's what the white man said was COVID. I ain't seen it yet. He find it. And brothers were scared, man. You understand me? So brothers, is a lot we have to reflect on if we want to look back to the days of old, man. If we going to think like our ancestors think, if we want deliverance like how Abraham being delivered, Isaac, Jacob, we have to be fearless too, man. And we have to think like Esau do. Let you hear that North Korea or something capture on an Esau military man now and see what Esau doing. You remember when they kidnapped Lot? What did Abraham do when they kidnapped Lot? Abraham take 300 men and go get Lot, right? Did he have to do it? Remember, Lot robbed him out of a couple land. Remember that? Lot go and Lot take the land and said, this is mine, which ended up to be Sodom. So Abraham was alright, go take it. But when the same people, because when I read...
He probably knew he was going to give it.
Abraham might know. Because when I read Genesis 9, the Most High said the people of Sodom was exceedingly wicked, man. So Lot went and dwelled with them and said, I took the flattest part of the land. Abraham said, okay, I'll go up to this mountain here. You understand me? But the same Sodomite them, they kidnapped Lot, man. Abraham have to get 300 man and went for Lot, man. Now when he go for Lot, who he's fine on his way back? The great Melchizedek. See that? Abraham never have to go get Lot, but he went. So we not even in that position now. Like you mentioned the movie Malcolm X. Remember when they catch that Muslim and beat him up in the jail and Malcolm X roll up down there? What the white man said, this man have too much power, man. This one man have too much power. We have to move on that level too, brothers. You understand me? And that level is what? Togetherness. And it cannot be togetherness in a carnal manner. You have to be togetherness to strive for righteousness. Right? Read on.
5th verse. And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and you shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely.
And remember this, we want to eat our bread to the full, we want to dwell in our land safely, only when we keep the laws of God. When we don't keep the laws of God, you have slave ship, the Arabs them start to make the slave ship. We used to sing and worship the Most High in spirit and in truth. When we start messed up, brothers, everybody find something to do. Right? Read on.
And I will give peace in the land, and you shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land.
So you see that? All that going to happen when we keep the commandments of the Most High. The Most High said when we keep the commandments, we're going to do what? We're going to be in our land peacefully. You ain't gonna have police choking no black man here, you have you begging the white man to breathe.
I can't breathe.
I see a little 5-year-old girl walking with a sign, begging the white man because she wants to breathe. Look on Sean Bell. What if that's your child? You go pick up a child with 50 bullets in him, and all the police them that was in that case come off scotch-free. Brothers, you don't see this land is the death of us, man? Right. We have to change something. We have to do something. Because you see all this what's going around? They're preparing for us. That's when you read Revelation 12, it said they're going after those that keep the commandments of God. So it's a test run to come for us. right? You have some.
Listen, I got this magazine that says 100 reasons to love America. I can't even think of one. 100 reasons to love America. Right? So I mean, you know, in the magazine they have these reasons, but none of them is pertaining to keeping the law, set of commandments of the Most High Yah. Okay. It's all, maybe it's about cuisine or places to go. Okay, diversity. But nothing, no one can ever say America is a place that keep the commandments of the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, so a lot of our people have made America their rest.
Comfortable.
Right? So, you know, typical Hebrew, they might say, well, I'm waiting for Yahushua to come back. Guess what? He's waiting for us to get ready so he can come back and destroy this place. He's pacing back and forth up there in the heavens, saying, listen, because he got to wait to get the okay from the Most High to come down here. Right? But that's not until what? The 144,000 are sealed. After that, all hell's going to break loose. But a lot of our people, you know, listen, I'm telling the elect of the Most High will see eye to eye.
In Zion.
You understand? Right. But there's not going to be no dispute, no arguments, nothing like that. You see cats disputing, take 2 hours to make a video on another brother. That's not part of the elect. So we got to understand what this whole thing is about. You understand? In your mind, before you can actually enter into the physical kingdom, you got to acknowledge that the kingdom of the Most High is within you, first of all. Right? And the kingdom of the Most High can't be in a wicked society. That's like mixing oil and water. It doesn't mix. So it should grieve your spirit of staying here in America. Because we get so caught up with a 9 to 5, right? A 5 to 12, a 12 to 8. Many of you working overtime, many of you working 2 jobs. When do you have time for the Most High? Right, what's the name got that song? What's that reggae artist? You talking about you spend so much time, you pay so much for your watch, right? But how much time do you spend with your family? What's his name? What a reggae artist. But he was going, it's like, you know, we do things backwards. Okay? You may spend a couple $1,000 for a watch, but do you take the time to spend that same time with your family, nurturing them and so forth like that? Or just, you know, we take for granted the basic things in life. You know, things that are free. We look to spend money to have a good time. What's his name? Biggie Smalls. He said, more money, more problems. Right? A lot of these people, a lot of people are looking to achieve a lot of money. But look at these people that have money. They have the worst lifestyles. Listen, before Michael Jackson died, he used to have to take, you know, the anesthesia to go to sleep. Right. He couldn't sleep at night, so he had to get this medicated, that stuff, you know, stuff anesthesia. They put you to sleep to do operation. That's what Michael Jackson had to take to go to sleep at night.
Like 20 pills sometime.
Right.
30 pills.
Wow.
So you wanted that type of lifestyle because you want that money? We got to be comfortable with the daily bread the Most High provides for us. When you try to go outside that realm, then you start having problems.
Now, some people still want to make it though.
Still want to strike it rich. Listen, if you, like 50 Cent, get rich or die trying. This is not the time to try to get rich in America. You have, you know, you just gotta be real with yourself. Listen, I missed the boat. I missed my time. This is not the time. You might have said, well, you know, this guy made it. You know, maybe I can tweak it a little bit, and I can see we made a mistake, and I'm gonna do better. This is what? This is repentance time.
Jump to the plan B. Make it in the kingdom. Plan A failed. Plan A failed because you all want to go to school to come out to get a good job. That was plan A. Because we find out now that a good job is slavery.
Right.
So just jump to plan B. Try to make it to the kingdom, brothers. Right? But I just want to read this precept. Isaiah 52 verse 8. The watchman shall lift up the voice. With the voice together shall they sing. For they shall see eye to eye when the Most High shall bring again Zion. Break forth into joy. Sing together, ye waste place of Jerusalem. For the Most High hath comforted his people. He hath redeemed Jerusalem. So you see that? There's only one person can comfort us, brother. That's why Kahan mentioned Michael Jackson. You think as rich, you'd be happy. But he wasn't comforted. Who want to be rich and taking 20 pills to sleep, man? You understand me? The Most High is the one that will comfort us in Zion.
Right.
That's our resting place, brothers. Right? Read on, Kahan.
Leviticus 26 verse 7. And you shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword.
So you see that? We do have enemies, man. And guess what? The enemy is not going to come and demonstrate to us they can breed. And they can demonstrate for equal rights and justice, man. But when we do the will of the Most High, Scripture says we're going to chase them, man. Right? Read on.
And 5 of you shall chase 100.
So you hear that? Just imagine a standoff. 5 Israelites, 100 Edomites. But the Scripture says you, the 5, go and win. You, the 5, go and chase those 100. Read on.
And 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight.
So you see that? 100 of that's all the Most High need, man. Where you think the Most High need 144,000 to conquer this earth? Because the Most High say 100 of you. He said 100 man, go take that whole village there, man. But guess what? You have to do what God wanted to do, brother. Police choking us, killing us in America because we're not doing what God wants us to do. We never lived, we never created to do what we want to do. We created to do what the Heavenly Father wants us to do. And then now when we do that, the Most High said we become what? A peculiar people unto Him. We don't want to be peculiar again, because I'm telling you, you have people now who say they're peculiar, man. We think we're somebody right now, you understand me? We think we're peculiar. This ain't nothing, man. Right? Read on.
And your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. For I will have respect unto you.
So hear what God said He'll do? Yahweh said He'll have respect for you. You understand me? The Most High not even said we must have respect for Him. But the Heavenly Father said He'll have respect for us when we keep His law, statutes, and commandments. He said He'll respect the man that keep His commandments. Read on.
And make you fruitful and multiply you, and establish my covenant with you. And you shall eat old store and bring forth the old because of the new. And I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not abhor you. So, so right now, what? A lot of people still wait for another stimulus check, right? So the Most High, one time we had abundance where, you know, we got rid of that because we knew the Most High was going to give us more. Now, when you get something, what's happening? You're holding on to it because you don't know when you're going to get some more.
So in the time of King Solomon, the Most High said we lack it nothing.
Right.
No house in Israel lack nothing. No, look at us. We're joining line to get some food to eat. But guess what? You're comfortable to it. You fit right in. Because JK even rebelling, man. You hear those firecrackers at night? Today's black people in America freedom, man. The black man is free. The black man is independent in America, man. See, there's I can meet woman. The woman say I'm an independent black woman, man. Today's the black people freedom here, man. And they're joining line for everything, but they're comfortable with it. They just fit right in.
Right. So you see Frederick Douglass, he did a speech he said, what does 4th of July have to do with the Negroes? Okay? Because what was the status of the so-called black man and black woman in 1776? It was slaves, so how could that have been independence for us? Okay? So you see a lot of our people, they lack understanding. Right? This book is called the Elders of Kahan. This is a good book. I got it from, it's called The Holiday Hustle. I think you can get it on Amazon, but it breaks down all the different, all these false pagan holidays. It's a quick reference guide. I use it, 4th of July, you got Mother's Day, Father's Day. It has all the holidays in this book. So if you want to, you can utilize it for, when you're doing street ministry. It's a good, it's a great cheat sheet to go to. It gives you the basic history, the origin of those pagan holidays. So it's good to have.
And it's Zaquan from North Carolina wrote it. And we have to start support our own people too, man. You understand? We have about 6 of them. I don't read all of them. You understand? But I'll give them to my children. So Zaquan was, give me the book. He was a brother up there in 1 West. Right? Most of you know him, Kahan? All the high table that vote in 1 West, he was the one who started. And he write a couple books well, man. You understand me?
What's the name of the book?
The Holiday Hustle. You understand me? Zaquan Jordan. So y'all try to support the brother too. You have more books. You have a website too. So when you finish, I could give you the website, or you go and check it out and buy. He sell one for what, $10? It's not even expensive, right? Read on Kahan. But as Kahan said, the beauty about this book, all the precepts there, the scriptures and the breakdown for all these pagans holiday, man. You understand me? So it's just like a flyer. Right? Read on.
11th verse. And I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not abhor you. And I will walk among you, and be your power, and you shall be my people.
So,
right? Go ahead.
Yeah, so you see that? The Most High said was going to put his tabernacle among us. But just imagine when Jeremiah take that tabernacle and go hide it, man.
Right.
Remember, when we lift that thing up in war, we win the war, man. You understand me? But the day when they come with Jeremiah, have to take that and go say, no, the Most High don't want this among us no more. Just imagine the day in Israel that is, brothers.
It's like a good luck charm.
Yeah, yeah. When Jeremiah took it and go hide it, just imagine, like the priests them might lose their mind, man. Because when the tabernacle is there, that's the Most High among us. And the Most High says, as long as it's there, I'm not going to abhor you. And Jeremiah have to take it and go and put it in a cave, brother. What that's a thing? How you sleep that night, knowing the Most High, the defense? Because the Most High was the fence. When you see Jeremiah take that out town, brothers and sisters, I know we couldn't sleep that night in Israel. Right? Read on.
I am Yahweh, your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, that you should not be their bondmen, and I have broken the bands of your yoke.
So you see that?
Made you go upright.
So we in America, we bondmen.
Some of us love it.
We cannot be sovereign in the enemy land. That never heard of, brothers. So if you're in America, don't matter what job you have or what you're doing, or if you ain't doing nothing, you is a what? A bondman. Because when we took Israel over and ruling Israel, there's not one person on the earth can come up there and say he's sovereign. You find that person going to be a natural lynching. If it's a Shabbat, he said it when the sun set. We stone him and lynch his ass, man. Who you want to be a sovereign in an enemy land? It cannot work. So the Most High saying, deliver us from Egypt, where we're not bondmen, because we're slaves. That's why when a black man in America buy a house and a white person buy a house, the black man pay 8% more interest. But black life ain't fighting for that. You have so many people get aborted, so many child murdered, man. I don't know what they call the abortion. Trying to make it sound good. But they're killing, they're murdering so many black children, man. But black life matter ain't about that. You have so many black men on child support. Black Lives Matter don't have nothing to do with that. So you see, as a person, as a man to man, man to woman, you see why we have to come back to this? Because all the wisdom is here, brothers and sisters. Let's just try this, like our foreparents did. Let's just try this like our foreparents did, man. Do what our foreparents did. Just imagine Abraham sitting, an angel leaving out the sky, coming to sit and have dinner with Abraham. Put yourself in Abraham's shoes. You sit there in your house and you just see an angel pop up. Brother, what you have there to eat and to drink? And the angel reason with Abraham and say, you know the reason we're here, we're going to destroy Sodom. And Abraham can talk to the angel and say, listen man, if you can find 50 men down there in Sodom, you're not going to destroy. The angel say, you know better than us, you go find them. It boiled down to what? 2 men. Just imagine Abraham walking up the hill, coming up Sodom, from Sodom, because Sodom is down a hill. Abraham did live in Hebron, it's up a hill. And the angel see Abraham coming up tired. Yo, did you find the 2 men down there? You understand me? And because the Most High said Abraham was his friend, man. Abraham was his friend. And when Abraham couldn't find the 2 men, what did the Most High do? They say Abraham, the angel say Abraham shalom. And that was it for Sodom, brothers. Even this present time, we have to put ourselves in a position where we can entertain angels. They're here, brothers. You have to come out the matrix first, though. Because as a nation of people, we're still trying to balance both sides. We still have 1 foot or maybe half a foot in the world and 1.5 foot in the truth, but the scripture says like 11 the whole lump. One thing will throw us off. So that's why Kahan said earlier, seek ye first the kingdom of God. How are we going to do that? How are we going to seek the Most High? The Most High telling what? Isaiah 5:15, I'll go and return to my place until we acknowledge that we did something wrong.
Right.
We walking with our head up like we're perfect. Listen brothers, we're not perfect. None of us are. When you read the Bible and see these laws, we all should be put to death, man.
Right.
So now we walking up with our shoulder up and our head up like with somebody, with nobody when it comes to the Most High. We cannot fool the Heavenly Father.
Seems like filthy rags.
Coronavirus was just a warning, brothers and sisters. Coronavirus was just a warning. That's not even the 100th plague what will take place on this earth. 1 virus shut down the entire earth. But we still casual about it, man. We have to put that behind us now, brothers, and move forward. The scripture tells us what? The Most High is our defense. Man, scriptures that. What do we have, Kahan? Get me Psalms 91. You have something else? Alright. Benjamin. You want water?
Yeah.
Yes, I want. Benjamin, get me Psalms 91, verse 1 to 4.
No, I'm going to read it. But let me read this for you first.
Alright, Kahan, read it.
This is Sirach 34, verse 16. Sirach 34 and 16.
Sirach 34, 16, Apocrypha.
For the eyes of the Most High are upon them that love Him.
So you see that? So we can show something now. I can show you like I love the Most High. But as soon as I go home, I start to beat my wife. I start to abuse my children. Even the Most High tell you is a cruel man, abuses animals too, man. But we cannot fool the Most High. Okay, he said the eyes of the Most High is on everyone who love Him, man. Right? Read on.
He is their mighty protection and strong stay.
Really?
A defense from heat.
A what?
A defense from heat.
So the Most High is that defense. Really?
And a cover from the sun at noon, and a preservation from stumbling, and in help from falling.
So you see that? So the Most High is everything. When you fall, He's that help. Because what y'all have to understand is Sirach 34. Right? What you have to understand. Brothers will be losing a job. I'm going through a job. Go through, brothers. You go through that, you might commit suicide, man. You understand me? Because some of your wife and children is alive and you're not doing what you're supposed to do for the Most High, not for man. What if the Most High kill all your children and your wife, man? Even Job have to tell his wife, you speak like the foolish woman, man. Because you all man with wife, you know your wife speak foolishly sometimes.
Right.
But if it's a problem if you have the balls to tell her. You'll step to Mathathawa. You understand me? You'll step to Kahan. You'll step to Elder Judah, Mike. But do you have the balls to tell your wife, oh, keep your mouth shut and sit your ass down?
Right.
You understand me? Right? Get Psalms 91 for me. Read verse 1.
Psalms 91 verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
So who don't want to be in the secret place of Yah? He say, he that dwell in that place. But you cannot dwell in that place with the lifestyle that we living now. So who willing to transform to dwell in that place? Read on.
Under the shadow of the Almighty, I will say unto the Most High, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in Him will I trust.
You know?
In my power, in Him will I trust.
Real?
Surely He shall deliver thee.
Surely what?
He shall deliver thee.
So the Most High, when He says surely, it's a must thing. But you have to be in that secret place, brothers. If you're not in that secret place, what will happen? Satan might be a deliverance out there, man. You remember Mommy? When the movie Mommy come out back then in Jamaican days, we used to make fun of that. When O'Connor said, Benny, you're not gonna get yours. What did Benny said? Like I never heard that before. You understand me? But I'm telling you now, you have to be in the secret place of the Most High for Him to put that edge over you, man. Listen now, I know a lot of people died this year, man. From heart attack to I know Esau put everything under COVID-19. But all I can say, God killed a lot of people this year. Right? Go back to Leviticus.
Leviticus 26 and 15. And if you shall despise my statutes, or if your soul shall...
Read 14.
26 and 14. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul shall abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant.
He said all the commandments, huh?
All the commandments.
No, God understand that. I don't have to do the Sabbath, God understand.
We in captivity.
Yeah, God understand that. I don't have to do the Passover. The Passover don't have to be a holy convocation. I can go in my basement, buy some lamb in the store and do it myself. God understand that. Read verse 15 again.
And if ye shall despise my statutes.
So you know what the word despise mean, right? Okay. Or neglect. Read.
Or if your soul shall abhor my judgments.
What the word abhor mean? Hate.
Strong hate.
But he said if you hate His judgment, okay, if you see that man break the Sabbath and you don't stone him, you hate God's judgment, man. You see the pedophile around there, the child molester, and you only give him 3 years in prison, you hate God's judgments, man. And the same thing go for adulterer, man, and adulteress. If you don't do judgment, God say you hate them, man. Why do you think God loved David so much? If you break the law, you're dying. When David was king, he ain't living to see the next day, man. Even when Saul died, man, the leader might take up Saul's crown and bring it to David like as a gift, man. So David said, listen, man, I'm still mourning. Put the gift down there and go over there in that room, go wait, man. David go there, David kill his ass, man. David say, were you anointed to touch that crown? Who anoint you? Because both king of Israel was anointed before they can be king. The king of Israel could not function without the priest. The priest have to anoint him to be king. So David asked Edomite, although Saul was dead and out there, but one of us could have go pick that crown up. You understand me? Who did anoint you to pick it up? And guess what, brothers? The Most High said David was a man after his own heart, because that's what the Most High have done.
He thought he was going to get some props.
Yes, he wants some props. David was like, so you really watch a Philistine kill Saul, right? That's why David, because at the time David and Saul was going back and forth over their personal business. But the love for David, remember, David could take Saul out plenty times. You understand me? But David still loved Saul. So David was like, so you just watch Saul die. But David put him out to death, man. The Most High tell you, even Paul tell you in the book of Acts, David is just like a man after the Most High heart. Right? Read on.
16. I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror.
So what the Most High saying going to put over us?
Appoint over you terror.
So who is the white man?
Terror.
You see that? When they don't hearken, now we have Satan coming in. Because the planet is two entities, negative and positive. The children of Israel are the positive. Esau is that negative. So just like when I read Proverbs 16:4, the Most High saying create all things for himself, even the wicked for the day of evil. Guess what? This was in Leviticus, brothers, in the wilderness. So when the Most High tell you all the goodness He's going to do to us, the Most High say, you know what? I know y'all going messed up. So just let me put Esau right here and just reserve him. Because I know y'all going to mess up. So the Most High said, when you break them, you put Esau over you. That's the terror. That's the man who was feeding your children to alligator, man. You understand me? That's the man that was lynching our people even until this day. Black people still being lynched in America. And the best thing black woman can cry out for is equal rights and justice, man. You know why the people are out there demonstrating for equal rights and justice? Because they refuse to come back to the laws of God. So when you refuse, because if you come back to the laws of God, the Most High say, I'll take the enemy out. 5 of you might kill 100 of them. But they don't want the law. They will ask you, man, who write the Bible, man? And they go to school for 20 years. Because the black woman in America can go to school, boy. Because she will try everything to be better than the black man. She'll put herself in debt and tell you to help her with her bills. Because she wants to be better than the black man. But she never questioned none of those books they tell them in school the earth is trillions years old. But as soon as you open the Bible, like a black woman tell me, she don't like certain part in the Bible. I was embarrassed, like it was a Jamaican woman too. She don't like what the Bible have to say about woman. But you see, that's the ignorance with our people. The man is over the woman, point blank. It's not even up for negotiation. The man is the head of the house. You understand me? But the black woman don't worry about the American Constitution what say she's nobody. Because the American Constitution said the woman is nobody. She not worry about that, but she worrying about the Bible. When the Bible just said, let the black woman submit to her husband. Let the black woman reverence her husband. But guess what? Brothers, I don't know what Satan did to Eve. But this black woman, that's the hardest challenge for her. It's hard for her. So we have to pray for her to overcome that.
Well, listen, I got this book. It's called Heroes of the Haitian Revolution, right? It's by a sister, written by Na Bello. And in this book, you had, she's holding a machete. So you had women that actually, even when I watched the movie Harriet Tubman, a lot of these women actually took part in a revolution when they was out in the trenches with the so-called black man as well.
And these
women,
Africa.
Right, they was in order. They was out there fighting, but they knew there was an order. They knew the Most High Yahushua. They knew the man and then the woman. They didn't say, well, I'm gonna be out there, but they knew they fought side by side.
They were fighting to protect their man and their children.
Right.
That's when they were fighting. It's not like the man sitting here and she just say, oh yeah, I'm going out to camp.
Right.
You understand me? No. When Esau mistreat the man or do something to the man or the children, then that's when the woman would go out there and fight. Because even I'm learning about the slaves that was on the continent of Africa that was fighting, and it was a lot of women, man, even from the Congo region. But you have one, Google him, Ishaya. Where's Ishaya?
Right.
What they call her, Ben, from the Virgin Islands? Sister Mary. Sister Mary from the Virgin Islands. Ben still here? What that woman that Denmark killed in the square in Denmark, what's her name from the Virgin Islands? Queen Mary. Google that Ishaya, so you see. Queen Mary from the Virgin Islands. Because this woman was so prolific, they have to take her to Denmark and they burn her in the street, man.
Even when you read about Sojourner Truth, right? When she changed her name, she was actually going to the plantations, telling the Israelites that the reason why they went into captivity because they broke the laws of the Most High. I didn't bring that book with me, but she was educating them, let them know the reason why they was in slavery is because we broke the commandments of the Most High. So remember, the Most High would have a remnant of his people in every dispensation of time. Okay? So you read, even when you read about Dessalines, right? This was written in 1804, right? And when they talk about Nat Turner said he got his vision of revolution from Dessalines. Right? Because Haiti was the first black republic country. And then one thing, this is direct quote from Dessalines. It says, "Liberty or death proclamation. Never again shall a colonist or a European set his foot upon this territory with the title of master or proprietor." Right? This resolution shall henceforward form the fundamental basis of our Constitution. Should other chiefs after me, by pursuing a conduct diametrically opposite to mine, he said what? Dig their own grave. So he's saying if you do something opposite to this, that you purposely digging your own, you might as well go get a shovel and dig the, because this is where they're going to bury you after you finish. Right? And those of their species, may my successors follow the path I shall have traced out for them. It is the system best adapted for consolidating their power. It is the highest homage they can render to my memory. It says headquarters of Cap Haitian, 28th of April 1804, first year of independence. So he gave that speech. Okay? So he told them that, listen, how is it, even, I don't know if you heard Kiki Palmer. She said, all my life I waited for a revolution. Can somebody Google the definition of revolution? I want you to read it.
You have something for me, Yeshaya? Read what you have, load it.
All right, this is, Mary Thomas was from Antigua and arrived in St. Croix in 1860 to work the plantations in the island. In 1878, she resided at the Spratt Hall Plantation. She gave birth to 3 children despite being unmarried. Before the uprising, she had been sentenced for theft or mistreating her children. Historians suggested that such sentence was used by the authorities to discredit people who opposed authority.
So you see that? So they set her up.
They said that child abuse.
Yeah, they set her up. Read on.
After the 1848 emancipation of enslaved Africans in the Danish West Indies, in 1849 labor law fixed salaries and labor conditions for all plantation workers and prohibited bargaining for better wages or work conditions. This made the plantation work unattractive, and many workers opted to leave their plantations and the islands to seek better conditions elsewhere. The government reacted to the labor shortage by making it harder for workers to leave the islands, demanding the health certificates and charging fees for passports.
And you see how that's what happened? they'll bar you not to leave the island, man. You understand me? They want you to stay there and slave for them, man. I know, I see British do a video this week where the British people say they're sorry for slavery. And you see all those British companies, they say they're sorry for slavery. Listen, man, I want to do some notorious things too. Can I do that and say I'm sorry?
Say it.
You understand me? Because if I say certain things now, you have the feds kick out the door and come in here. So can I even do that and say I'm sorry? And for they to destroy millions of black people life, man, in murder, man, and the only thing they can say is sorry. Who have revolution, the meaning for revolution? Read it, I know.
I'll start with the second definition. It's
Stand up.
instance of revolving.
Stand up,
Revolution. An instance of revolving. The first definition. A forcible overthrow.
A what?
A forcible overthrow.
So a forcible overthrow. So now they're in Brooklyn. You're applying for a permit. You're asking, can I march somewhere? Right? So read the definition again.
A forcible overthrow.
So now how are you going to be marching with the same people that are terrorizing you?
That's
Right?
that revolutionary you.
You
Because
understand?
they take everything by force from you.
Okay, read it again.
A forcible overthrow
A forcible overthrow, come on,
of a government.
of a what?
Of a government.
Come on.
Or social order in favor of a new system.
Of a new system. So now, you're not making a new system. You're just gonna try to make America great again.
To build it.
You understand? So you can dwell together, ebony and ivory. You want to bring that back again, right? The Most High is not bringing that no melting pot. He don't want you to dwell together. He don't want you to, can we all just get along? The Most High is not looking for that.
Kahan?
So we gotta put our eyes on, keep our eyes on the prize, Mount Zion.
And the white man is still the devil's, brothers. Because some of you want to get lightened up in the last days. You see him out there marching like the guy you see on camp yesterday. He like the togetherness.
Yeah.
Everybody together, he like. Listen,
Everybody get
brother.
along.
Listen, man. The white man is still the devil, the Bible. And the Most High, you don't know what the Most High is doing. The Most High going to transform you. Because the Most High telling Ezekiel, he's going to rain upon him with his servants, Judah, man. Because y'all falling in love with the white man, man. Everybody on this earth know this man is the devil, man. Except Judah, man. Right? Read on.
But I'm going to show you that what they're doing now, they're using strategy. They're letting out all these people that have been locked up 30, 20 years, right? Because why? During this time, you beat down already. You're not, all you just want to come out. Because why? You've probably been raped in there, sodomized, or, mistreated. So right now, at this point, you just want to get out of jail. You haven't seen a woman. Because what they're doing, they got to make space. Now, who are they locking up? They're locking up the younger generation.
Again,
because they realize that the younger generation is the future, and they're not able to control them. So they said we're gonna lock them up. We're gonna incarcerate them. You know what I'm saying? So y'all don't even see that. You think they letting these guys out of jail because they want to? No, they gotta make space because why? These prisons are overcrowded.
With us, and guess what? We only 10% of America.
And how is that?
With 10% of America, and they said more of us in prison than any other race. We have diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer. But we know we be lying about that. But it's still something that have a side effect on us as a nation of people. Right? Read on.
16. I also would do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of the heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it.
And that's what's happening, man. He said we shall sow our seed in vain because our enemy eating it. And that goes both ways. Even your children is a seed, man. Who are your children growing up worshiping? Who are your children growing up serving? Right? Read on.
And I will set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies.
That's why you see George Floyd, right? Although some brother say he's not dead. But somebody dying, because guess what? The Most High said it. We was gonna die in front of our enemies, man. And then we beg him, can we breathe? Then we beg him after this, equal rights and justice.
Hands up, don't shoot.
Hands up, don't shoot. And you just read the meaning of revolutionary. You just hear what Kahan said about the Asian revolutionary. When those Asians come together, you know how they plan to kill white people, man? For their freedom. If you want to be free, you have to kill somebody, man. So you might march for freedom when the white man never marched with the British for freedom. He's selling British freedom today when he killed British soldiers to get it. So that's why we have to put ourselves in a position where the Most High can come and help us to do the same thing.
Listen, Deshalee had something. I didn't read that part. He had something. He made believe he was having a dinner, so he called the white
was
people
Christmas
over.
night.
Right, so he called them over for dinner. So all of them came over. He killed all of them.
It was Christmas dinner, Christmas night. Because they said when they wake up Boxing Day, they say over 25,000 white women, men and children were slain, man. The great Napoleon army, some cane choppers defeated. Just imagine that. The Asian wasn't celebrating Christmas with them. You know that after, and that was 1804, brothers. 83 before every African country. Because when 83, 80 start to send aids to other countries, man. 80 helped liberate a lot of African countries too. Senegal is one of them. Guinea is one of them. You have the country what they call name now, Chad is one of them. You understand me? 80 cent. The thing when 83, any black man that was free in the world, that's where they were going to, 80. All black men, slave escape. That's why even in America, the history, the slave trying to reach where? The water. Because they think from they go to the water, they can, the Mississippi, they try to reach to Florida. From Florida, it's just a swim into 80. So that's where they want to reach. So now the white man start to target the river. Because if you catch an escaped slave, they go and be in the river, man. Remember I even tell you that in Root? Remember Kuta Kente, they thought he was going to run away with 1.5 foot? When the man was beating a drum by the river, that's what they used to do to give the signal, man. So whenever the slaves get away, they would head to Haiti. So for that, the white man demolished Haiti financially with Uncle Tom leaders. Because brothers, we don't have to trade with the white man. We don't need him for nothing. Oh, Jamaica is 120 miles from Haiti. Jamaica have backside. Backside make nuclear bomb, uranium. Jamaica not mining the backside. Trinidad is further east. Trinidad have tar, gas. Guyana is not America, but still in that passage. Guyana have gas. Gold. Guyana have the #2 best gold in the world. You understand me? Other Caribbean countries have their own resources. We never have to sign no deal with the white man. But we sign a deal with them where they control the natural resources in those lands. Jamaican people used to plant bananas, St. Vincent bananas. When we reap the bananas, what we do with it? Send it to England, brothers. But where people here used to pick cotton, when they pick the cotton, who was the cotton warming? The devil. So with that, we cannot march with the white man. We're not going to be affiliated with the No Black Lives Matter. With that, the only thing we said, you're going in slavery, the remnant of you that left. You ain't going to pass that. And we'll never forgive you. Ever forgive you. That will never happen. Right? Read.
Proverbs 11:21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
So that don't stop nothing. And you can't even go to Isaiah 13. All they that find it among them shall be trusted true, man. The white man will never go unpunished, brother. But guess what? A lot of you going to forgive him. But the big question is,
they got that stimulus check.
yeah, you get that stimulus and when next one coming?
Well, maybe Trump is not so bad after all. I'll vote for him. Listen, he got my vote. Use that for the Exodus.
But the problem is, we can forgive him. But guess what? Yahushua will never forgive him. David said, don't I hate them on most side? Get that out. Psalms 139, verse 18. Psalms 139, verse 18.
Psalms 139 and 18. If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand.
So you see that? There are a lot of people, man. Remember last week we was Googling how much white people in the world, man? There's a lot of them, man. Read.
When I awake, I am still with thee.
When they wake, we still sing them, man. But when we wake, we with who? The Most High. Because what? It's only the Most High can protect us in this thing, brothers and sisters. Read on.
Surely thou wilt slay the wicked.
Sure is a must. As you hear what David said, surely the Most High will slay the wicked. Read on.
O Yahweh, depart from me, therefore ye bloody men.
Read.
For they speak against thee wickedly.
They do what?
They speak against thee wickedly.
So when they talk about the Bible, what do they do?
Speak against thee wickedly.
Read.
And thine enemies take thy name in vain.
The enemies do what?
Take thy name in vain.
That's why they give you Jesus and God and Jehovah and Lord and all these things. They change the Most High name. And guess what? He'll never be forgiven for that. Read.
Do not I hate them, O Yahweh?
Do not I what?
I hate them, O Yahweh.
Listen, man. It's Yahushua bringing hate, man. Yahushua say you cannot serve two masters. Else you're going to hate one and love the other. So you choose no. So here David said, don't I hate them, O Yahweh? Read.
That hate thee.
That do what?
That hate thee.
So we supposed to hate those that hate the Most High, man. But hear what David said. Read on.
Am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee?
Read.
I hate them with perfect hatred.
With what?
With perfect hatred.
Do none of you here have perfect hatred. The Most High have to put that spirit on you. Because David was going to war to kill people, man, singing and dancing, man. Remember they used to sing the song? Saul killed 1,000, David killed 10,000. How happy can you be to go there and kill 10,000 people, man? Or kill a couple people and you coming in back from war rejoicing. Did you see a chat that Edomite head off? So David, they have perfect hatred, brother. When the Most High said, David, go clean up that city over there, be ready. Read on.
Read 21. Do not I hate them, O Yahweh, that hate thee? And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies.
Read.
Search me, O Yahweh, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts.
So you see that? So David now was telling the Most High, search my heart. And you'll see in this heart, I hate all them that hate you, man. So we know, this generation now can forgive. Let's forgive and forget. Yeah. Move on. It's 2020 now. That happened so long ago. Even Joe Biden, remember Joe Biden made a speech? If you think I'm going to pay somebody for what happened 300 years ago, you must think I'm crazy. But guess what, Joe Biden? We don't think you're crazy. But you won't miss slavery. Yeah. You're going beyond that. You see how big Delaware is? He's going beyond that cotton field. Joe Biden, you see, running for president. Who a lot of black people think he's a savior because he's going to save black people from Trump.
Yeah.
You understand me? But all white people is the same thing, brothers and sisters. That's why the scripture said, don't trust thy enemy. Because same way the iron rust, that's how wickedness grow in them, man. Right? You have something you want to...
Yeah, just like this LGBTQPROV movement, right? They hate the Most High. The Most High gave us the bow as what? They took this
Purposely.
They knew what they did.
In vain.
They did that on purpose. They took that. Now, what do you have? This book is called The GayBCs. There was actually a couple out there with their children. They couldn't believe it. This is the actual children's book, right? That they're teaching children. They use a letter and it has something derogatory towards this homosexuality for them. They explain it in a children's term about being a homosexual. You got a situation like Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. They use these celebrities as a landmark that their 12-year-old,
Right.
a 12-year-old sitting out telling their parents about the birds and the bees. Something is wrong with that.
Right.
Okay? At that age, you talking about you want to cut off your rod?
Right.
Yes, Sabar.
Yeah, when you really look into it, that's what the whole Black Lives Matter.
Right.
That's the whole agenda is to remove the black man from the household and create that feminist gay agenda.
Right.
Empower the black woman, right?
Right.
The black woman is feeling empowered, boy.
But it's also, they want to also empower transgender.
The transgender, this bunch of sodomites.
If you ever get a chance, anybody in the class, read what they're all about, and it's wonderful.
Because every time they mention the Black Lives Matter, they mention pride.
Good.
So what they do now, they have pride in their freedom. They have pride in their negativity.
Trans too.
It's the same thing.
Black trans.
What you say, Labran?
Black trans as well, because everybody get up on the black man's sorrow, always hijacking the Negro's sorrow, adding pride and trans and like Black Lives Matter.
Because you see, to be honest, we have to blame the black man too, man.
Right.
The black man need to be blamed, man, because the black man need to stand up for something, man.
Right.
You understand? Because most of these black men, Dwayne Wade allow, what that devil name? Devil black woman, Gabrielle Union, and to bring him out to where him is, man. You understand me? Because the little boy name was Zion. Oh, you have a name as Zion, man, and you change Zion to what the hell that devil name?
Zara.
Don't even mention that name, Mark. I never want to mention it, man. That's a blasphemous name, man. You understand me? And you have Magic Johnson, the same thing, man. Your son come to you and have familiar spirits, you beat it out of him, man. There's nothing else ripping can do, man. Just imagine I go to Jamaica and tell my father I have feelings. He'll kill me, brother. You understand me? There's nothing a little ass whipping can help do, man.
You won't make it out alive.
Yeah. you remember when that skit come out, the Jamaican Tobias did that skit? When he tell him, Mama, Mommy, I think I'm gay. And when he give him the bell cross his back, and he say, I'm not gay no more. You understand me? Listen, but guess what now? Black people accepting it now. Especially the black woman.
Right.
Okay, if you have sons who live in a house with a single black woman, it's a problem, brothers.
Right.
You understand me? Try being your children's life, man. If you want to save their life. Because even most of these women out there talk to now, from 30 and down, they've been in lesbian relationship. 95% of them.
Right.
You talk to a girl out there 30 and down, she slept with the next woman already. So we growing up, we never have to fight that time. You happy when you get a kiss or a hug. You understand me? But now,
I played Spin the Bottle when I was growing up.
Spin the Bottle, I play Purple Touch. But because you see what happened is too, the black woman and the black man, they okay with their daughter have girlfriends. They want their daughter to beware of boys. You understand me? So the daughter will have a girlfriend, but the girlfriend is a lesbian, man. The girlfriend is the one that breaking out your daughter, man. You understand me? Because as parents, you don't want to see a 15-year-old daughter around no boys. You understand me? What are you doing around that boy? How old is that boy? But if it's a 15-year-old daughter, Daddy, I'm going to the mall with my friend. Ooh, oh, it's 2 girls. You say, okay, go. But that's the problem, brothers and sisters. That's the problem. You understand me? Right?
So look at this book. We're going to look at the letter S, right? It says S is for sachet. So they got like a little Jake, right? With a dress on. S is for sachet. A confident, fierce stride to show yourself off with attitude and pride. Right? They got the letter T. Right? When I was growing up, the letter T stood for toys, right? But in this it said T is for trans. It's a brave step to take to live as a gender you know is innate. Right? So this is the actual children's book. So this is what we gotta be aware of. Okay, when we sending our children to these institutions. Okay, so when your child comes from, and the most, I'll show you how the most I put it into that now. Schools are closed. Right? So a lot of parents have been forced to homeschool their children.
But they crying, they can't wait for school to open.
Yeah.
They crying, because I remember I see this post on Facebook where a sister was like, listen, so like how they teach at home, should we drop the children off at the teacher house? You understand me? But let me go as far as in this as we can. Where we left off.
17?
Yeah.
And I will set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you.
So who is reigning over us?
Easter.
No, the one that what? Hate us. So we cannot march with him. Right? Read on.
And you shall flee when none pursueth you.
So that's what, you see the black man? In America, the black man only can fight against who? The only black man. Black and black crime. You see a police out there, he's scared as hell, man. So he's fleeing and nobody even pursuing him. Right? Read on.
And if you will not yet for all this, and if you will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins.
So you see that? So there's no deliverance outside of America, man. Because what the Most High said, if we don't hearken, He's putting 7 times more pressure and plagues on us, man.
Right.
Right? Read on.
And I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron, and your earth as brass.
Read.
And your strength shall be spent in vain, for your land shall not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruits. And if you walk contrary unto me...
So you see that, brothers?
Right.
The Most High said when you go off, man, even the land is cursing, man. So when He curses the land, no fruits, nothing for you. The land barren. You're going in famine. And this is what happened to us where? In Israel. But let me tell you something more beautiful than this. Israel is a whole land, right? You see when the 10 tribes went off? The 10 tribes part of land was barren, man. But guess what? Judah, over Judah land was fruitful, man. And the Most High did that purposely. Well, you think, remember, the 10 tribes, they went into Assyria. That's where they have to start to trade to get their food and stuff from. Why do you think there's no fruit tree in America? Remember when the white man come here, all those buffalo, everything, where they at now? Where are they now? So the more wickedness increase is the most High send plagues now. As He said, 7 times more. Right? Read on.
I will also send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children, and destroy your cattle, and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate. And if you will not be reformed by me by these things, but will walk contrary unto me, then I will also walk contrary unto you.
So you see that? So what we put in is what we get in. We walk contrary, the Most High say I'll walk contrary unto you. Read on.
And will punish you yet 7 times for your sins.
So you see, every time we messed up, the Most High said 7 times more. That's why when I read the book of Baruch, the Most High said what? When we return, we have to praise the Most High 10 times more than what we used to do. Right?
And I will bring a sword upon you, that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant. And when ye are gathered together within your cities, I will send a pestilence among you.
COVID-19, you're gathered in a city. The Most High say, I'll send a pestilence among you. Read on.
And ye shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy.
You remember, you get the flu and you go to the doctor, and the doctor is the one killing you.
Right, right,
You see that?
right.
There's no cure for COVID-19. Why you have to go to the doctor? They say it's no cure for it. So how you know to put a ventilator up your nose will help you?
Cool.
So you see that? The Most High send pestilence, you go to the enemy is the one killing you. Because they know the prophecy. And they say, as long as we can have these people few numbers, what can we do? We'll control them. Because guess what? The Most High cut Esau vine too. Esau multiplying like he used to. Right? Read on.
And when I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall break your bread in 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven, and they shall deliver you bread again by weight, and ye shall eat and not be satisfied.
So you see, so you have to pay for everything now, man. Back then it was a natural thing for somebody to bake. Every household bake their own bread, man. You understand me? So now you have 10 women baking the bread and they sell you by weight. So you have the bread, you'll be looking up there on it, 1 slice, 2 slice. Guess what? The next 2 days the bread starts to get spoiled, man. Right?
And if you will not hearken, for all this hearken unto me.
So the Most High said, when all these things happen to you, if you still don't hearken, read.
But walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you in fury, and I, even I, will chastise you 7 times for your sins.
So you see, Israel loved chastisement, brother. We is one of the strongest nations on the planet Earth. Because the Most High said, every time we go contrary, He punishing us 7 times more. And we still not returning. So we love chastisement. Right? Read on.
And ye shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat.
So we remember that video with the Jewish man about the Mathathawa? So we eat that when we was sieged by Nebuchadnezzar, and we eat that on a daily basis, man. They say over 300,000 black women do abortion last year. What do you think they do with those babies, man? Because the scripture said we shall eat undefiled bread amongst the heathens. When they say undefiled, what do you think that means?
That's the Mickey D sandwich with cheese.
How the hell you go and buy a $1 burger, you get buns, beef, and cheese, lettuce, tomato for $1. I see Burger King did have this thing, 10 nuggets for $1. 10 chicken nuggets for $1.
Plastic.
And guess the worst thing? You'll have to buy oil to fry it, and how you pay staff. How they accomplish that? How much you pay for a cow that you can sell a patty for $1? Read on that.
And I will destroy your high places, and cut down your images, and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you.
So when we in America now, that's hatred of the Most High. That's how the Most High hate us. This Most High said, I abhor you. The scripture said the Most High was like an enemy unto us in slavery, brother. The Most High, everywhere we run to hide, the Most High showed Esau where he was, brother. There was no escape. Right? Read on.
And I will make your cities waste, and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation, and I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors.
So your frankincense and your myrrh, some of your burning sage and all these things. Because some people say they burn sage to get rid of evil spirit. But if you're still not doing the laws of God, burning sage don't make no sense. So the Most High said, none of that he ain't gonna smell. He don't want to smell. Right? Read on.
And I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it.
So you see that? So the Most High desolate the land. He say even the enemy that live in the land with us was amazed, man. Now the enemy mad at us. The enemy like, listen, Negroes, if you all never messed up, the land wouldn't be like this. So you go to Israel to see all those Bedouin there. I know it vex them, they see us come there, we now telling Tel Aviv and all this stuff. Must vex them more. You remember we go there, they treat us nice, they gave us tea, they welcome Matty's out, they're happy to see us, man. Because they know for the land to get any blessing, we have to be back there. So when the enemy watch us and see we sin and see the Most High, what the Most High do with the land, they are astonished, man, they're amazed. Right? Read on.
And I will scatter you among the heathen.
That's where we are now.
And will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste.
Read.
Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbath.
So you see that? Because when we're there, we wasn't doing it. Just like the same attitude what some of you do now with the Sabbaths. The same attitude what some of you do with the feast days. When we in the land of Israel, we was doing the same thing. So the Most High said, you know what, get them out the land. So now the Most High said, guess what? When you're in Israel, which car are they moving? If you see a car moving, going to be 90% of the time is a black man driving it, right? When you're in the land now, the land is just at peace. Nobody move. And the Most High have to kick us out of the land for that to happen. Right? Read on.
I mean, it's probably some tourists. Like even when we go to the Western Wall, when we go there, you see Eve coming in with some tight pants
yes,
on.
and tights, spandex tights.
Everybody else got a scarf, a long dress scarf, but Eve got to be. She'll come in with the tightest jeans.
And the falls is here.
Right? And then with us, I don't even know how. First of all, I don't even know how they allowed her in there because when we went there, we had our robes on. This will show you that this thing is spiritual. Right, when we went there, we had our garments on. They had to call for superiors until they came back. Now, we were not allowed to wear a garment. I mean, we could have went back and forth with them to argue the situation, and plus that we visited so frequently, so we didn't want to create anything that they are markers anytime we come there. So we realized they know, but all it does when they do stuff like that, it only makes us know even more that we're in the truth. Right? By them doing that, they think they masterminding us, that they're getting over. You know, we're going to belittle these guys. Right? So we couldn't wear a robe. We had to leave our robes before we go in. Also, some of us had staffs. Right? Some had a pointy end. Now, brothers had rams on shofars. Now, you would think between the shofar and the staff, which one do you think will be considered a weapon?
Staff.
Who's saying staff?
Staff would be considered weapon.
Who say shofar is considered? So now they were telling us that we could not bring the ram's horn.
Yes.
Okay. Why do they know that the ram's horn is a weapon? Huh?
Battle cry.
Before we went to battle, we blow the shofar and they get scared of the sound of the shofar.
So they know the power behind the shofar. Right? So we trying to but we know, but I'm like, everything, like I say, everything is spiritual, but they're only showing that they know who we really are. You understand? Yes, it was frustrating. It was belittling that we see Africans going in with their garbs. We see Chinese people going in with their robes. They let them go in. But when we had our robes on, it was a big issue. We coming in with ram's horn, with robes. They're like, wait a minute, where you guys going? Okay.
Some Arabs have to keep them for us.
Yeah.
Remember, some Ishmaelites say we'll keep them.
Okay. But this is telling you, brothers and sisters, you're in the right place. You may be new to this. You may have family members that say you're in a cult. Okay. Trying to discourage you from being His truth. But remember, the scriptures say the Most High is going to take one out of the city Okay? Right, one of the family too in the city, right? So now, just be thankful, because I know a lot of you, when you come to the truth, you know, you want to save your whole family. You want everybody to hear this word, right? But this word is not for everybody.
That's right.
Okay? 2/3 of our people have to die. Matter of fact, your family member might be the blood sacrifice that you can make it. How about that?
Better you than me.
Right. Because it's like process of elimination, right? You going for a job interview, right? The job is hiring 50 people, right? But 150 people show up for this job. So what's the reality at the end of the day? Huh? 100 people is going home without a job. Right? Remember, many are called, but what? Few are chosen.
That's right.
So make your election sure. Okay? You know, get your solid ground, lay that up. Get your foundation. Because it's a battle of salvation in these last days. Okay? Who's going to make it to the kingdom? Now, we know it's the Most High's mercy and compassion, but the Most High also tells us to do what? To make our election sure. Make your calling sure. Right? When you go into a race, do you go into a race to lose or come in third place? You're going there to come in first place, right? You're going in to break records. Right? And when Hussein Bolt came in, he came into the running aspect of things. He turned that whole thing inside out. Look at those sisters that did the tennis. You had Tiger Woods. All of our people, we went in. Listen, you even got black people that play hockey. They dominate hockey. You know, hockey, they knocking out teeth and all, they be in there fighting. You got Jake in hockey. Ping pong. You think anything, you got Jake that's swimming. So the Most High is showing us that anything that we go in, we excel. You know, we're the salt of the earth. We take that whole thing over. Right? But we got to come back to these commandments, because the commandments is what energizes you. It's what's
wisdom.
It's what gives you favor over these other nations. It also gives you a hedge over your people within the Israel. Right? When I see people in Israel straying away from doing the work, I do it. I take up that slack. Right? Many people try to they say, brother, you turn 50, it's time for you to sit down. I don't think so.
That's right. That's right.
Right? Because to me, I don't feel my seat is secure yet.
That's right.
So I'm going to continue to do this work to the end. Right? And then now another thing too, people always saying, have this spirit of, let somebody else do it. Right? And a lot of people are failing to take the responsibility of being a leader. Because there are a lot of brothers right now that are set up in leadership position that are not the real leaders of Israel.
That's right.
You understand? And in a process of time, the Most High is going to move them out of that position. Right? There's going to be spiritual power that's going to be distributed in Zion amongst the elect. And in that particular time, it's not going to be no question if the Most High, because you know, brothers say, oh, the Most High is only dealing with their camp or their school or them as a leader. At that particular time when the Most High gives spiritual power, it's going to be a shadow of a doubt. If a brother disintegrates you right in front of his eyes, yeah, you got spiritual power. The Most High is dealing with you, right? It's not going to be no guess at that time. You know, if the brother said, drop dead, and you drop dead, okay, yeah, the Most High is dealing with you. But right now, brothers are, you know, they talking a good talk. Right? They out there, even like I saw one sister, I'm not on social media, but somebody sent the video. She was getting on all these rappers like The Game and all these guys talking about they gangsters, they Crips, they Bloods. Where they? Even The Game. When Dwayne Wade, when the son came out, he said he supported Dwayne Wade with his son. You a big time what? He's a Crip or Blood, and you say you a gangster?
He was a stripper. You can't just no stripper.
Right, he's an ex-stripper, right?
Yeah, you can't just no stripper.
But these are the things. These guys supposed to be some hard gangsters, and they are co-signing this whole homosexual movement. And these are the people that our nation look up to.
That's it. Look at Jada Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith.
Will Smith, he gave the blessings.
Yeah. Imagine that.
So these are the things. Okay.
Let's read 4 more chapters. Finish at 38.
And what do we leave off?
34.
34. Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths as long as it lieth desolate, and ye be in your enemy's land. Even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbaths.
So you see that? We have to come out the land for the land to get her rest. Right? Read on.
As long as it lieth desolate, it shall rest, because it did not rest in your Sabbath when he dwelt upon it.
Just imagine that. You understand me? Remember when Yahushua walked through the garden and one of the disciples plucked the corn? Who saw him? The Pharisees. Why he wasn't keeping the Sabbath? He was being inquisitive. You understand me? That's conniving. That's what Israel was doing back then. Right? Read on.
They're looking for you to fall off.
Yeah.
They want to catch you slipping. Right? And upon them that are left alive of you, I will send a faintness into their hearts in the lands of their enemies, and the sound of a shaken leaf shall chase them.
So you see that? You hear a leaf shake, you're scared, man. That's the spirit on us now. We are the remnant of who left. So we are shaking leaf. We want to run, break our neck, man. We in great fear where there is no fear. Right? Read on.
And the sound of a shaken leaf shall chase them, and they shall flee as fleeing from a sword, and they shall fall when none pursueth.
Read.
And they shall fall one upon another, as it were before a sword, when none pursueth. And ye shall have no power to stand before your enemies.
Read.
And ye shall perish among the heathen, and the land of your enemies shall eat you up.
So that's the whole thing, brothers. We come over here to fulfill 38. Read 38 again now. That was our whole purpose from Deuteronomy 28:68 slave ship. Read verse 38.
And ye shall perish among the nation, and the land of your enemies shall eat you up.
So that's why you think America is eating us up, man. America suck everything out of us, man. America take away our manhood. Just imagine you see picture back then with people in the 60s, the 70s with their afro. Look like a lion, look masculine. You understand me? I was looking at some old school video and I see Jake in... I thought Benjamin was the one wearing Kangalak. I never know Judah have style. I see Judah wearing some Salakia. You understand me? I see Judah wearing Kangalan, Adidas pants, Adidas shirt, Adidas shoes. I said, well, Judah look fly. Benjamin used to wear the Puma. You understand me? So I look and stuff like that. Then I look at these things now. You see Dwayne Wade with his head red. So I'm wondering, I think Dwayne Wade is homosexual too, man. I think he's the one break his son out too, man. Somebody need to investigate that child sex abuse, man. And Magic Johnson is homosexual too, man. I think they the one touch their children the wrong place, man. You understand me? So just to look in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and to look at us now in the 90s and the 2000s, you have RuPaul have a whole show on VH1. I don't even watch VH1 because I don't want to see the commercial.
Right.
Then I say, okay, I come outside, I see a whole picture on a bus. I say, how we make it to the bus, man? And then now you have people planning to sell the Bible. So everything comes down to Leviticus 26:38, and he shall perish among the heathens. That's what we're doing. He said the land of our enemy, the land of America, is destroying us. Suck every energy out of us, man. Right? Read on, Kahan.
And you know, also, when you on your job, and you talking about, well, a lot of you have your pension, you save your money, you talking about when I retire. I was working when I was working American Express, I see people have heart attacks. Okay? And a lot of them, if what happens, if that person don't have any kin or any family, who gets that money? It go back to them, and they know that. So they try to persuade you not to touch your 401k, because when I retire, I'm going to travel, I'm going to see the world. Now, do you have the same energy at 65 years old that you had at 20 years old? Imagine we went to Masada, right? You 65 years old trying to climb up Masada.
There's no wheelchair, right?
You understand? So you gotta enjoy life in a righteous way as you can, because the scriptures say what? Boast not thyself of tomorrow.
Do you feel the same way at 30 as 50? Yeah?
Listen, I was running with these guys yesterday. They couldn't keep up with me, right? And I'm showing you how the Most High. And listen, I've talked about the Trooper program, how we were conditioned. They taught us to exercise. We did. I remember Gawak. Gawak, when he'll have us on the ground, he'll walk. He'll physically step on your stomach and walk on it. He used to have this wood stick and hit us on the stomach, condition our bodies. Okay, so we went through all that. I showed them where we was in Mount Morris Park, where we used to run up through these woods. And I had asthma, and I still kept up with these brothers. But I mean, like I said, this is what a lot of the younger brothers are missing, that conditioning process, right? That now, at the age I'm still able to, younger brothers, I'm surpassing brothers that's half my age. Right, but that's because of the foundation that these men laid before me. Exercising, taking care of my body and stuff like that. So we gotta, continue that. Show these younger men this is the way to go. All right.
Kahan? So basically, brothers of H.O.D.C, David, he is a hoping challenge. So y'all get ready, Kahan?
Kahan.
Because L.O.Z don't want none of this, right? we when we go have that competition.
They don't want it. L.O.Z don't want it.
Listen, set the date, February.
They don't want it.
We do something in February in New York.
Listen, y'all don't want no smoke. Y'all don't want y'all don't want no smoke.
So brothers, with that I said, that's the end of the class. We're going to go camp, so it's not Barak or Shalom out here, it's just Mathathawa and Kahan stretch it out. So we say Shabbat Shalom.